Thoplis, Trace Braun into 527 out of Salina, Josh Hinkie into 00 out of St. Paris, Jason Cook, the 313 from Wilmington, Paul Petro into 411, Mike Decker in the 331, Jason Brozinski in the 44, the 422 driven by Toby Hiley, Levi Oglesby in the 021, Kevin Gaffin in the 921, Zach Campbell in the 7X, Bob Hoffman in the 27X, Lonnie Hageman in the 29, Chad Cole in the 15, Shane Jones is in the 345, the 222, Trey Nichols, Mark Elliott's in the 527, Todd Hollinger's in the 44, Brandon Wyrick's in the 03, Jacob Gilliam in the 583, Tom Seitz in the 727, Phil Kaiser in the 188, Daryl Muldoon in the 104, Brian Felver in the 54, and finally, Tony Godwin is in the number 8. So shortly you will be hearing one of those as the winner of tonight's Derby. If you have a red F-350, 4, 3, 2, 1, let them go! And the action is underway here at the feature event of the Smash It Bash for the cash. This is the big money round where everything's on the line. Again, $11,000 goes out to the winner. 11 grand on the line tonight. And I guarantee they're going to be putting on one heck of a show as the action gets underway here at the Smash It, Crash It, Tear 'em Up Automobile Demolition Derby feature event. And Mark Elliott out of Ayton, he's down there side by side. I can't quite believe that was the 7X. 7X is coming down the line, a lickety split. That's Zach Campbell out of Crestline, Ohio. They're going down next to the 331 of Mike Decker out of Wilmington. Mike was in the first heat. So far, it sounds like everybody is running strong. Everybody running very strong out there in the early going. We'll see how many they have left to go here. The referee's giving a few words of encouragement to a couple of the drivers out there. Sometimes that's needed, especially when you have this much cash on the line. Some of the guys want to try to work it to their advantage, and rightfully so, because this is not chump change out here. Number 583 taking quite a hit, Jacob Gilliam. He was going back-to-back and bumper-to-bumper with the number 411 of Paul Petro out of Eaton right now. Going down the line as the number 8. He was running pretty strong there, Tony Godwin. He was one of our cars that was out of a consolation event, so he definitely earned his spot tonight. He's doing a fine job here in the early goings as we speak right now. A couple of these vehicles slightly scuffed up, making it hard to read the numbers, but I do see the 222 of Tracy Nichols out there, excuse me, Trey Nichols. He's still going strong. Paul Petro in the 411 coming down the track, going to get side by side with the 527 of Mark Elliott, who is currently locked on, tug and groove with the 188 of Phil Kaiser right now. And the 03 right in the middle of the track. That's Brandon Wyrick. He's coming down through there at a fairly decent clip. Problem was the 411 was in his exit path right there. Over on the other side, Jason Cook is in the 313 out of Wilmington. ladies and gentlemen, looks like all of the vehicles are still pretty much running. I can't see any movement on maybe 2 of them, but it looks like they're still working on getting those going right now. Again, this is a large money round. Lots on the line right now. Okay, we're going to need a medic right next to the registration trailer. We're going to need a medic by the registration trailer right next to the... Yep. If we could get them over here, I say we got them on the line. They're coming down through here. Paramedics are coming. If you could please make way for them right there, ladies and gentlemen. Please make your way. Hold them up, hold them up, hold them up. Hold them up, hold them up, hold them up, hold them up, hold them up. And let them go. Get the action back underway here in the feature event. Things are back underway and right along the inside of the track. Willard Flack is in the F69. He's here out of Lithopolis. Got a couple drivers that currently have exited their automobiles, at least one of them for sure right now. We do have the 345. That's Shane Jones out of Shelbyville, Indiana. He's down on this end of the track, kind of side to side with the 583 of Jacob Gilliam. These two have driven here. And then working this end of the track, the F69, looks like all the action and excitement right now is down right smack dab in the middle. Hopefully that'll be clearing out of here before long. I could see a couple of them like the 00, Josh Hinkey out of St. Paris, Ohio. He's side by side with the number 44 of Todd Hollander. A lot of very good running automobiles here. I can see over on the far side, Mike Decker in that number 331. He's over mixing it up pretty hard and heavy with Chad Cole in the number 15. Those guys were back to back and bumper to bumper back in through there. Over on the grandstand side of the track, the 00, Josh Hinckley still working hard. Right now, we still have most of the drivers still in contention for the big money round right now. I still only see maybe one that has totally stopped. Looks like the 03, not faring so well. That's Brandon Wyrick. He is possibly on the timer. Can't quite tell from this vantage point. Referees up there keeping an eye on things. But still moving right in front of us is Mike Decker in the 331 alongside of Paul Petro in the 411. Jason Cook in the 313. I believe he's still out there. Saw him earlier. Josh Hinkey in the 00. Trace Brown in the 527. And Willard Flack in the F69. Also had Jason Brodzinski in the 44 was out there. Toby Hiley in the 422. Levi Oglesby in the 021. Ian Gaffin in the 921. Zach Campbell in the 7X and Bob Hoffman in the 27X. And we can hear that roar of the engine off the number 583, which is Jacob Gilliam. He's going back to back right now with the 527 of Mark Elliott out of Eaton. These guys going after one another pretty hard here in the midway goings of the feature event. And getting a little bit of a traffic jam up here. Right now we got a lot of them going down through here. You'll notice the lights when the referees are Getting their attention the quick way out through here. Spotlight them, telling them to get the attention pretty quick from these referees out there. Definitely a good way to stop the Derby as well. Especially it's kind of hard to hear or catch. If you're unable to visually make contact with them, definitely can't yell at them when it's this loud. That spotlight does do wonders out there. We see the 3:31 of Mike Decker. He's side by side of the 3:45 currently. That automobile being driven tonight by Shane Jones. And also mixing it up is a 7X. That's Zach Campbell out of Crestline. These guys definitely starting to put the hammer down as they make way. I believe that's the number 15 over on the grandstand side of Chad Cole. Chad Cole doing a heck of a fine job as he gets along and works the high side of the track. And really is not quite as much steam and smoke out on the track. Maybe most of these drivers might have already lost the radiator. We did have a little bit of a cool down session in there while we shut them down for just a few moments. That might help some of these drivers' machines last just a little bit longer. But so far, everybody doing a fine job. It looks like, we have some. Nope, I believe that was that orange. Oh, hold him up, 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 hold him up. Hold him up. Definitely going to have to check this and let him go. The action is back underway right now. Now again, we are paying 10 spots in the feature event. We're going to have to keep pretty close tabs on how many vehicles we have running at which point in time. And then comes the 188, but he stopped just shy of the driver's door of the 7X. And the driver's door is the one safety zone that these drivers do have. They have to keep pretty close tabs on that. Just flipping around to the other side and making contact on the back right now. And it looks like they may possibly be hung out. Right now, the number 29 getting spotlighted, Lonnie Hageman out of Salina. Still doing a pretty fine job of what he's doing out there. Going down, swinging around. Paul Petro out of Eaton, Ohio. He's currently trying to get himself unwed from that car that's been out, but the 00 not making it easy. Josh Hinkey out of St. Paris, Ohio, went nose to nose with him. 222 still going good. That's Trey Nichols. It looks like these guys definitely mixing it up out there. Again, this is the big money round. All the marbles on the line right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the $11,000 first place prize is going. And 527, Mark Elliott doing a good job out there right now. And it looks like we're definitely over 10 vehicles left running. 10 of them where we're going to have to start handing out the prize money. Between 5 and 10, these guys are going to be getting about $150, I believe it's $150 a piece for placing in the top 10. Got a lot of slightly used automobiles still battling it out in the top 10 spots. Again, top 10 money paying spots. However, I'd say most of these drivers that are out there will be not happy with anything less than first. And up on the high side of the track, the 00, Josh Hinkey still running up there. See some movement out of his, along with the number 527. 527 getting a few words of encouragement. Mark Elliott still working the grandstand side of the track. This time he's going after the nose of the number 583. That was Jacob Gilliam on the receiving end of that hit from the 527. Right in front of the announcer stand, Jason Cook is in the 313, and we have a nose-to-nose competition between the number 15 of Chad Cole and the number 527 of Mark Elliott. Number 7X is making his way around the track. Zaz Campbell out of Crestline. He was running down the high side, or the grandstand side, if you will. Getting away the outer belt loop. He's moving his way down through that. It's definitely getting warm out on the track, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a rough hit. Not sure which 527. I got here's that we do have two of them. We've got the silver number 527, and there's a black 527, Trace Braun. I believe Trace Braun is in the black 527. We're going to have to wait till they switch around. Hopefully one of them has it on their driver's door. Josh Hinkey out of St. Paris, Ohio, still running 5. to number 15. 15 put some good hits out there. That was Chad Cole using the nose of his automobile as a battering ram as he went down to make contact. It's the number 9, 21. That was Ian Gaffin. I believe that must be Kevin Gaffin. The corner comes the number 29 of Lonnie Hageman. Lonnie Hageman right here going nose to nose with the 313. That is driven tonight by Jason Cook out of Wilmington. Also still in contention is the number 583 of Jacob Gilliam. From the grandstand side, I'm showing a 527. Very well. Move his vehicle up and down the track. Again, we do have two number 527s currently out there. Right now, the number 411 getting the spotlight show. That's Paul Petro. And that caused him to put the hammer down, and back he went. The 527 getting a little bit slower as they go. Because of the driver's door hit. A few of the vehicles falling off right now, which is going to make it just a little bit easier as we get down to our remaining few. A lot of fine drivers and a lot of fine equipment out here that they're in. But these vehicles have taken quite a pounding already today. Still quite a bit left till we get to the last vehicle left running. Nichols in the 222. He's right dead center in the middle of the track. Looks like the 331 is momentarily stalled out. That was Mike Decker out of Wilmington. And a lot of smoke, actually a heck of a lot of smoke coming out from the nose of the number 15. Chad Cole doing the best he can with what he's got left. A lot of these are definitely starting to show one heck of a lot of wear and tear on these vehicles in the late going. I'll say the midways of the feature event. Again, we are going to be paying for the top 10 spots tonight. And that was a good legal hit. Drivers are trying to watch out for one another out there best they can. It looks like they are definitely starting to get a bit on the tired side, ladies and gentlemen. Although some of these engines might have some quit in them, I'm sure the drivers do not, including Chad Cole in that number 15. Chad is here out of Botkins, Ohio, and he's got a lot of steam belching out from underneath the hood of that machine. But it still sounds like it's running pretty daggone strong. And with a lot on the line, such as $11,000, These guys are going to push these vehicles to the maximum, but boy, oh boy, is that thing getting hot out there. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that. It appears that it's just steam. Josh Hinkey out of St. Paris. He's here in that 00. And it looks like he's the Lone Ranger. Down got the whole end of the track to himself before Todd Hollinger in the number 44 came down. Mike Decker still in the 331, able to move back and forth, taking care of business over here. Jacob Gilliam is in the 583. Down at the other end, we got the 411 of Paul Petro still in contention. We got the number 29, Lonnie Hageman, nose to nose with the 313 of Jason Cook. You guys running. And we do have a couple of the 527s. We have Trace Braun. We also have Mark Elliott, both those in number 527 automobiles. Chad Cole still going strong in the number 15. And these vehicles still running very, very strong in the late goings of the feature event. And keep your eyes to the sky because a lot of dirt and mud is being slung by the 222 of Trey Nichols. Trey sliding his machine around the corner there, getting back into the action. We speak, slowing up ever so slightly, but when there's $11,000 on the line, I'm sure they're going to give deep and give it all they have to try to muster up all of the horsepower that they can possibly keep going through the very end of this demolition derby and take home and claim the prize of the $11,000 first place prize tonight. Paul Petro's currently mixing it up with the 583. Jacob Gilliam taking a pretty good hit. We got them stacked up, three of them down here. Jacob now going after Chad Cole in the number 15. Time has run out on the number 313. That's taken him out of contention here. Jason Cook is now out of the running in the number 313 automobile. Right it. Looks like time ran out on the number 411 as well. Paul Petro getting a blast of light. And I believe we are getting down to about the last 10 vehicles left running. Getting very, very close onto that. I think we may currently have 9 of them left running. Nope, there's our 10th one over there. We're definitely getting down to where we're going to have to keep a very close eye on what's going on. It appears that we do have a few drivers out. I believe we are down to 6. 6 of them currently left running. And I believe we have Josh Hickey in the 00. Definitely know we have him running the 527, the black automobile. I believe is Trace Braun, if I'm not mistaken. In front of me is Jacob Gilliam in the 583. Also running out there is Mike Decker in the number 331. Trey Nichols is still going out there. We can see that he is at the bottom of that large plume of steam and smoke at the far end of the track right now. However, he is still managed to keep his machine running. Looks like 6 automobiles left running out there. 6 of them battling it down for the top spot of $11,000. Again, in the running is the 00 of Josh Hinkey, the 331 of Mike Decker, the 222 of Trey Nichols, and the 583 of Jacob Gilliam. Still trying to make out some numbers on a couple of these. I know we have the black 527 out there, which I believe is Trace Braun. We also had a silver 527 numbered machine. And I believe the silver one was driven by Mark Elliott. And it looks like time ran out for the number 331. So that takes it down to 5. Should see movement off of about 5 of these vehicles. We got 3 of them down at one end. And we've got the 44 of Todd Hollinger's another one. He just got turned around to where I could read the number on that black number 44. And that's a good solid nose-to-nose hit between the number 44 of Todd Hollinger and that 00 of Josh Hinkey. I believe, again, that's Trace Braun in the black 527. Not quite 100% sure. Okay, we are down to the top four. We do have a top four. Looks like 222 is going to have to settle for 5th place tonight. So the 5th place finishers thus far, looks like in 10th place tonight is going to be the 411. Ninth place is going to go to the number 29. That's Lonnie Hageman. The number 921 is going to be in 8th place. Seventh place is the silver number 527. That's Mark Elliott. And we still have movement out of 4 automobiles. 6th place is going to be the 331 of Mike Decker. 5th place is going to be the 222. Now again, the top 4 places are going to be good money makers. That's going to be $500 for 4th, $1,000 for 3rd, $3,000 for 2nd, and $11,000 for 1st. And we'll have one of them on the timer now for the 4th place, possibly. Do have 4 vehicles either running or currently on the timer. So the referee's keeping a close eye on number 583. 583 is going to be quite possibly and that's going to be 4th place over there is the number 583. That's 4th place is the number 583. We are down to 3 automobiles left running. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. See the number 44 of Todd Hollinger. He's here on the list. Also the 00 of Josh Hinkey. And the 527 of Trace Braun. Trace Braun in the black number 527. And it appears that Todd Hollinger, number 44, having some problems. Got a whole lot of coolant spewing out from the front end of that automobile. But the main thing is to keep it moving, and that he's doing. Also moving well is the 00 of Josh Hinkey out of St. Paris, Ohio. And, of course, the 527, Trace Braun in that black number 527.
527
3 vehicles left running, 3 of them battling it out for the top 3 spot. And these are the big money rounds here. A lot of marbles out here. 11,000 of them to be correct. Again, not a bad payday. Wouldn't mind having a little of that myself, but I'll tell you what, these guys have definitely earned it. Going out there and driving in these things, we can see them all running very strong right now. There's a 44 trying to unsqueeze his way out of here. It's kind of wedged in between them. And we definitely have a couple of them hooked up. It's going to be the number 44. Todd Hollinger trying to, there, he's got her unwedged. The 44 was digging a hole right in through there where he was sitting. We've got the 00 of Josh Hickey. Right now we do have the 527 stalled out. That's Trace Braun. Three drivers, 3 of them battling it out. Again, this is the big money round, $11,000. It looks like a 00 momentarily stalling out. A couple of these guys using their nose to kind of push it over. That's a 527 of Trace Braun on the attack. On the receiving end of that is the number 44 of Todd Hollinger. Time ticking away. We've got referees keeping a close time on the 00 and the number 44. Okay, that's your third place right there is the 00. Third place going to Josh Hinkey. Now we are down to 2 automobiles left running. Just 2 of them, and it's going to be between the 527 of Trace Braun or the number 44. That's going to be it. Time has expired. Second place is the 44 of Todd Hollinger, and first place right there is the number 527 of Trace Braun. In first place, the 527 of Trace Braun. Second place is Todd Hollinger in the number 44. Second place not paying too bad tonight. That's going to pay out $3,000 for second. Third, respectively, at $1,000. That's going to be Josh Hinkey in the 00. Now, fourth place is going to go to Jacob Gilliam. And if they are cutting cars, the top 3, they are cutting cars. So, want to let everybody know. So, drivers, please keep an eye out. And if you're not a driver, we need drivers only on the track. We don't need too many people out there. Please, it's going to be very, very busy as they start weeding these vehicles out. But anyway, first place tonight, again, Trace Braun in number 527. Second place goes to, these are the unofficial results. Second place is Todd Hollinger in the number 44. Third, Josh Hinkey in the 00. Fourth place is Jacob Gilliam in the 583. Now, for 5th through 10th, they are paying those tonight. Again, these are unofficial results, but 5th place through 10th also going to receive $150. So 5th place is Trey Nichols. 6th place is Mike Decker. 7th place, Mark Elliott. In 8th, Kevin Gaffin. 9th is Lonnie Hagaman, and 10th place is Paul Petro. So those all have money coming their way tonight. 5 through 10 will have money coming their way tonight. And if we could have Bub Hoffman. Bub Hoffman, you are the recipient of the Mad Dog Award. Bub Hoffman's going to be getting the Mad Dog Award. That pays an extra $1,000 plus trophy. So Bub Hoffman in car number 227, you have been awarded the Mad Dog, so please don't leave before you pick that up. Again, driver 227, Bub Hoffman, is going to be the recipient of the Mad Dog Award. Now again, as everybody leaves, I'm sorry, 225. I asked the head ref if it was 225, and he said no, it's 227. I apologize. So anyway, Bub Hoffman, 225 is the number on that car. But again, trophy and a check goes with the Mad Dog.